All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Hold on. One more time.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
And radio check.
It's beautiful. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Kema, and I'm here to talk about the F125 game. And man, oh man, is it amazing. Shout out to EA for the job that they did on this F125 game. It is phenomenal. Now, with that being said, there's something that I've thought of that I believe can just bring the dial of the F1 game just a little bit more amazing. I'm going to explain it to you guys, and you guys can let me know what it is that you think of the idea. And just before I start explaining this idea, I just want to let you know I did write it down on my phone, so I'm going to read it to you because I wanted to make sure that I got every single detail that I wanted out of this idea and make sure that I say everything correctly. So I'm going to be reading this off of my phone. So I will begin now. The idea is an option called the hard tire activation window, and this option can be either turned on or off. When it's off, it would be considered the current behavior of the hard tire in the game as it is right now. If the setting is turned on, this will mean that when the hard tire is at its optimal temperature window, the tire temperature will be 10 to 15 degrees lower or colder than they would regularly be. So just like we've seen at the Bahrain GP and the Spanish GP where the teams avoided the hard tire, it would basically bring this element into the game. This is ultimately what will dictate having more two-stop races, and it adds more strategy for drivers as a whole and drivers with engineers. If they see someone gamble going on to hards, and they can see that driver is struggling slightly with their pace, the decision would have to be made in real time as to if to go that route and struggle in order to complete a one-stop, save the tires they are currently on more to try and wait for a safety car, or commit to a two-stop race at whatever point is sensible. This also adds strategy to choosing the tire allocation before going into the qualifying session, as well as how many softs are used in qualifying if a driver wants to have a fresh set of softs for the race. If someone starts on mediums or softs, they would have to think of the much higher likelihood of a two-stop race, because a medium to soft or soft to medium strategy does not work. And obviously, if you go from medium to medium, you are doing a two-stop race. Now, there would be a second option that is attributed with this option being turned on, and that option would be called the tire activation window probability. And for this option, there would be three choices. You can either choose low, medium, or high. If you choose low, that means that there will be a 20% chance that the hard tire will not go into its optimal temperature window. If you choose medium, there will be a 40% chance that the hard tire doesn't go into its optimal temperature window. And then if you choose high, it will mean that there will be a 60% chance that the hard tire will not go into the optimal temperature window. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a scenario. I'm going to read it though. I'm going to read it. So the setting is set to high. There is a 60% chance that the hard tire is going to be a dud and will not perform to your liking. Do you wait for someone else to bolt them on to see their pace? If you're running near the back of the field, do you take a gamble on the hards to potentially jump up the field on a one-stop strategy? If you're in first place, do you go all out on a two-stop or conserve and take the risk on a one-stop where the hards may ultimately fail you? This would be absolutely incredible. Now, the one thing that could potentially ruin this idea that I came up with is, let's say if drivers were to use a hard tire in qualifying to determine if the hards will be in the optimal temperature window for when the race will take place. Number one, if it's a league, the league can put a rule in place where you're not allowed to use the hard tire in qualifying. Number two, what can also be done is a league could let drivers use the hard tire in qualifying. However, there would be a risk reward associated with that. And it would basically be knowing if the hard tires are going to be good for the race versus losing time during the qualifying session to set your fastest lap versus also giving other drivers and teams information as to if the hard tires are actually going to be good for the race or not. Nonetheless, overall, I honestly believe that this idea would be a game changer. EA, come on. Let's go get this into the F1 25 game. And then the other thing that I would say is also just make it something that is, or something that affects users only. So don't let it be something that affects the AI so that you don't have to worry about the coding as far as that is concerned. Let it just be something that affects users so that it's something that we can use when we are facing the AI, as well as user versus user or users versus users as far as leagues are concerned. So that's going to be it as far as my hard tire activation window option idea that I have come up with. Let me know your thoughts as to if you like it and or dislike it, and you can also write any ideas that you have thought of that can kind of go with this idea that I have come up with or enhance it, if you will. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Take care. Oh, I almost forgot. Leclerc, take me away, man.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Yeah, all good, thank you.